The Lazy Dads podcast contains lots of swearing. Lots and lots of swearing. You have been warned.
You're listening to the Lazy Dads Guide to Movies in association with The Session Booth, your one-stop shop for video production, social media management and graphic design. Derek, I have to go and do the shopping now. I'm just doing my list here. We need beans, peas, a loaf of bread, 2 litres, 3 litres of milk.
3 will do.
3 litres of milk.
Yeah.
Orange juice. Do you want apple juice?
Yes.
Apple juice. Do you like protein juice?
God, no.
No, okay. We're looking at multivitamin juice.
Yes, that'll do it.
And eggs.
And eggs.
Oh, and a jingle, please.
Insert team song here.
Lazy Dads, Lazy Dads, Lazy Dads, Lazy Dads.
And we're back. We've no guest again, but we've news! I've got amazing news! We've been invited on to Phoenix FM for an interview Saturday, the 30th or the 31st?
It's 31st.
31st. Yeah. And we're going to have a 15-minute interview on the radio station, which is going to be cool.
Yeah, I can't wait to curb my swearing for 15 minutes.
Any local people or people abroad who can listen to it online.
You can listen on the
check
website,
out Phoenix
sure,
FM. Yeah. It's between 1 and 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's the only time frame we know, so.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we get to speak about the podcast, and while we're speaking on the podcast about a radio interview, no doubt the day after we'll speak about how we got on the radio interview. Podcastception. Fucking deed. And I really have to curb the swearing for that one, don't I?
No swearing at all. We're totally rated you for Universal on that Saturday, the 31st.
Fucking horse shite.
Now, you have had me mad excited the entire week about all the shite that you've watched and have done but haven't told me about it.
I have watched shitloads of stuff this week. Right, I was saying earlier on the week, after watching The Night Comes For Us, I was watching a few of Iko Uwei's other films.
Yeah.
So I watched Mile 22 and Triple Threat. I started to watch Headshot, but I kind of got a bit tired.
They're on Netflix. They're all on Netflix, aren't
These
they?
are all on Netflix, yeah. So Mile 22 has Marky Mark in it. Now my brother recommended it to me, and Dan, it's not great. There's a couple of great scenes in it, but we have to get Dan on, and
I think we have to get Dan on as a guest, not so much for him to talk about the films he loves, but more so for us to educate him in good films.
Exactly.
Just like them apples, Dan. And you can't say that because we're doing around about the podcast.
But it's Mile 22 is fine. Marky Mark plays a kind of CIA agent who is kind of like, they talk about him having bipolar and stuff, and it's almost like he's, and I apologise to anybody out there listens who's autistic or knows anybody who's autistic, but I think they're trying to aim for the autism as a superpower thing here.
Alright.
You know that the Predator kind of touched upon, which I don't like his character. I wasn't a huge fan of the film. Sorry?
He's a kid.
No, I mean Marky Mark's in this film, yeah. So it's alright, bit convoluted story. What you call him's in it? Fucking, he's brilliant in everything. I can't remember who it is now. I think
Michael Caine.
No, he's John Malkovich.
Robert Redford.
John Malkovich.
Right.
John Malkovich is in it. He's good. Other than that, it's meh. Iko Uwei is barely in it. He's one fantastic fight scene. Other than that, it's meh. So that's Mile 22. Now the next one is Triple Threat, which is Iko Uwei's, Tony Jaa and Tiger Chen. Am I right?
Some good fight scenes in that, then I imagine.
There are some fantastic fight scenes in that. Now what lets it down is,
I hate the posing in those fight scenes though.
You hate the posing?
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, it did you watch it?
No, just I've seen clips of the fight scenes through various, and that's the wrong way of making a judgment. I'm not judging the film. I'm just judging that those characters, those actors, have been so revered in the fight scene film over the last 10 years or so because they've brought in that full contact fighting and everything else, that you know, the way the fight scenes are filmed, it's like as if they're heightened or something. It's like as if it's almost like they're made into superheroes, and they pose as they fight. Like I can't put my finger on it. It's not as gritty, say, as a Bruce Lee fight scene, and not as kind of jovial as, say, a Jackie Chan fight scene. But it's too serious, man.
I hear.
And that sounds stupid as well, because like a fight scene should be like the fight scenes and the Night Comes For Us were really serious. Yeah, but they're real gritty as well. Yeah, do you know what I mean? That's the kind of.
It has moments like that, but there's other fight scenes which are fantastic. Like your man who's in it, Scott Adkins.
Oh, he's good now. Fairness,
he knows what he's doing,
but
he's not a good actor.
Yeah,
the dialogue.
He's a fantastic fight.
He is
choreographer,
and like there's a brilliant fight scene at the end. Obviously, the climactic scene. There's 3 or 4 of them going on at once, and one of them was Michael J. White, which is pretty good, and then it's Scott Adkins, which is brilliant, and then there's a third one with some UFC guy, which is only alright. None of the people in it can act, except for Tony Jaa and Tiger Jen. Is that his name?
I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, but anyway, they have a nice dynamic in it, but the dialogue is atrocious, and it's even more atrocious. This isn't a slight on either of them. Like, Tony Jaa's native language is not English, it's Thai, and your man Tiger Chen is obviously Chinese, so they're speaking to each other in English, and sometimes the delivery isn't great, but it's only because the dialogue isn't great. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was good dialogue, and some of the funnier stuff they do together, the kind of banter back and forth can be good, but other times it's just not great. So, and then your man Iko Uwais comes in, he kind of is a bit too serious in it compared to the other two, and it just doesn't really work for me, but it was only an hour and a half long, it was fine. So what else did I watch? Right, I also watched Maze, the film at the Maze prison.
Oh yeah, yes.
Fantastic.
It's a docu film, isn't it?
Not really, no. It's based on a true story, but it's got your man out of Love Hate in it.
Which one?
Nidge.
Oh, Nidge. Oh yeah. What's his name? He's a great actor, actually.
Tom Lawler or something.
That's right. Yeah, Tom Lawler. Yeah, Tom Lawler Vaughn, isn't it?
Something like that. Yeah.
Isn't he one of the henchmen to Thanos?
You're right. Yeah, he was around the Ebony Maw.
That's right.
The English sounding one. Yeah. He's very good in this, and it's very good, and it's the best Irish film I've ever seen, hands down, by a country.
Do you know? Ever since you mentioned Irish films, I've been racking my brain trying to think of Irish films.
Trying to think of a good one.
Well, Michael Collins is good crack. It's totally historically inaccurate, but it's a lot of fun to watch. What's the director? Neil Jordan. Neil Jordan has done a few great films. But I know Space Truckers was filmed in Ireland, believe it or not. Dennis Hopper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't know that. I'd love to see him.
And Private Ryan was filmed. The whole start of Private Ryan was filmed in.
Yeah, but if
you're looking I mean, an actual domestically produced film.
Like In the Name of the Father, you could
probably
put that down as well. Crying Game. No, but what's the famous disabled guy who painted with his feet? Fucking My Left Foot.
My Left Foot, yeah. What's his name?
Christy Brown. That's not a bad film.
That's a good film. To me, and I might be ridiculed for this, but The Snapper and the rest of those films, they've really aged really badly.
Commitment's a shit.
Commitment's
I love the music in it.
Yeah, the music scenes are fantastic, but the
acting's atrocious.
Yeah, and the gags are just like they're funny when you were 13, 12 or 13, but they're not funny anymore.
It's not a true reflection, I suppose. It's a bit like we spoke of Adam and Paul and
a horrible film.
That other one, Dublin Old School. I mean, that's not a true reflection of.
No. I watched the start of it after you talked about it. I have no intention of watching any more of it.
It's difficult. It's difficult to watch, and it's hard to see other people outside of here looking at that and going, "Well, geez, that must be what Dublin's like." Yeah. It's fucking not. That's no more than watching fucking Goodfellas.
Quiet Man was an Irish production.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah.
That's a great film.
I haven't seen that in many moons now.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, that's something we'll come back to actually. Irish movies.
Yeah, we'd still actually have a look.
Have an actual look, and see. I guarantee there's a few there that'll pop up and be like, "Oh, I forgot that was an Irish film. That's a great film." Yeah. Or ones that'll pop up and go, "Jeez, that was an Irish film." That'd be worth talking about.
But also, there'll be a few that we don't know exist that I'm sure are better than what's out there. Like Intermission's not bad. There's a couple of them that are alright, but by and large, I find that Irish production films aren't great and are almost. Like even stuff like The Guard, I didn't really like that. It didn't do anything for me, A great cast, but it just didn't do anything for me.
Oh, I Went Down. Do you remember I Went Down?
I never saw that.
That'd be a good explanation for this, lads.
No, I never saw that.
It's a deadly film.
I remember wanting to see it.
It's actually a good crack. Although I'd have to watch it again. It's years since I watched it, but it's definitely worth a watch, that one.
Reevaluate it. Right, so the Maze is great. Just fucking watch that. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Cool.
I watched my mystery movie.
What's that one?
I'll tell you that in a few minutes. That's the last one. I watched Bone Tomahawk last night.
What
a fucking film.
How amazing.
Holy fuck. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Everything about it.
Oh, fuck me.
What do you think of the line? Now, we're going to spoil this now for anybody. Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
But the line at the end when Kurt Russell's on his way out and his deputy comes over and he says, "Say goodbye to my wife. Let's say hello to yours."
Yeah.
Oh, it's class. It's just class.
And it's funny because I obviously saw Brawl first. And that's completely humourless, you know what I mean? Yeah. But there is humour.
There's none in Brawl. There is some in
There's not a moment wasted in that film. Not a fucking breath wasted.
Did you notice how the attacks happen? They happen like smack of a rock in the face, hand chopped off, and somebody gets shot with an arrow in a space of 2 seconds.
Yeah, there's no pomp or fucking circumstance around it. It's just boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
It's fucking brilliant. And your man Richard Jenkins.
Yeah,
what an actor! I love him. Like I love him in everything I've ever seen.
They were all brilliant in it. They were all absolutely brilliant. And even the ultimate scene of your man being fucking split in half and cut down. That scene is horrible. But it's just the effort that the main character puts into with his broken fucking leg, and he proceeds to break it even more on his travels
twice.
But his effort he puts into getting to where he needs to go and all that sort. His job is just the whole premise of it. Even the troglodytes themselves were so well thought out. Like there's a couple of like little bits and subtle bits, and like the yolks in their throat, the way they talk to each other, and it's like bits of jewelry they scream through and shit. And then when they're doing a bunk out of a cave, they're running out of a cave and they see like the oilless pregnant kind of husks.
Fuck.
That was just horrible.
Yeah.
That was just like, fucking horrible.
It's not a pretty film, but it's a great western. I put aside all the grittiness and everything. It's a great western. It's like all great westerns start off with what seems like an inconsequential event. Your man shooting the guy in the leg in the bar, which then kind of fucking steamrolls into. That's
the doctor is called and the doctor can't make it, so your one goes. Or sorry, your one goes. Your man was supposed to accompany her, and he couldn't because of his leg. But you know the scene when Kurt Russell's sitting down. What's his deputy's name? He's a great name.
Chicory.
Yeah. When Chicory sits down and he shares him some of his onion soup. And it's just the Chicory's dialogue is just brilliant, isn't it? Like
the tea smells funny.
The tea smells funny,
But now they know it's soup, it smells alright. It's fucking brilliant.
And the dialogue and the script, and there's nothing you could pinpoint in a film that's necessarily bad or poorly done.
That's what I'm saying. There's
every aspect of it.
There's not a moment wasted in that. And we talked about Brawl when Kev was here and saying about slow burners aren't boring. Like it's a good hour before they actually kind of hit the road in that. And
that's right.
Not a whole pile happens in that hour. But it's just so brilliant.
And the characters
so good.
And you know, probably the only bad thing about it is how much more you want to know of their characters.
Yeah, particularly your man
who was in Lost.
Yes,
the shit he went through, like his family being slaughtered by the Indians or the Native Americans, so he goes off on rampages and he fucking slaughtered them himself throughout the years. But like his reaction to the two fellas showing up at the campfire without announcing themselves, remember?
Brilliant.
It's like fucking bang bang dead. Like holy shit.
But even shortly after, when they're being raided and he gets stabbed again, it comes out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, he's just fucking Kurt Russell kind of wakes up and looks over and there he is fucking getting stabbed. Like, holy fuck.
It's fucking brilliant. Excellent film. Again, 2 hours.
Soundtrack is amazing as well. It's barely there, but when it is there, it's amazing.
It's one of those forget about the grittiness of it. Just a fucking fantastic western if you can stomach it.
And Kurt went out like an absolute hero in it as well. God, and you think what they did to him, jeez.
But even when he's there breathing and after being shot in the lungs,
you can hear he's hanging on just enough to fucking give them a bit of backup. But the lad, there was 2 more troglodytes or 1 more troglodyte, wasn't there? 3 was there.
Because when he fucks off,
you hear 3 gunshots.
3 gunshots. There's another brilliant scene at that I noticed, and it kind of stuck with me after I'd seen why it happened. It's when your man Bruder, the guy from Lost, is kind of fucked up and he loses his hand or whatever, and he hits one of them in the chest, and all the shit sprays out of his neck.
That's right.
It goes. I was like, what the fuck is that?
He was calling to him.
I didn't. And then I realised that after, but I thought he had shot him in the neck or something. I was like, what does that mean?
He copped what was going on, and he was calling them to him.
And no stupid characters in it either. Which I've said this before about stupid characters driving plot through idiocy. You know what I mean? Nobody in that film.
Every single aspect of that film was just done perfectly, and that's why I love your man Craig S. Zahler. Craig S. Zahler. You can tell he just like fucking. If it's coming from him, it'll be perfect, or as perfect as he can get it. Do you know what I mean? Within his confines. And there's another example of a film that didn't have a huge budget, but to me that's one of my most favourite films, and the character development in that and the script and the dialogue really made that film in every regard. Because on paper it sounds like a stupid it sounds like an out stupid grade Z horror movie.
It does,
but he made it something special,
21 days that was shot in.
21 days.
21 days. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
Unbelievable.
Like that. It's fucking.
Yeah.
Like they're traveling for what is 5 days a week,
Yeah.
you know, and it feels like 5 days. It feels like they've been on the road 5 days, not in a bad way.
Yeah.
You know, and then obviously the final kind of confrontation goes by in what, half an hour maybe?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
After they get captured, and your man Patrick Wilson follows them. Obviously that took him a couple of days to get there, so you know, it shows the passage of time effectively without being boring.
Yeah.
You know,
the scene where Bruder gets his hand chopped off.
Yeah.
The minute the acting from him, the minute he gets his hand chopped off, the shaking in his arms, the sweat pouring out of him, the kind of the barest touch of panic in his voice, but the absolute fucking dedication that this is the spot where he's going to die.
Yeah.
But he's going to go his own way.
Yeah.
And that's it. Like, you know,
what does he say? I'm too mean to live as a cripple.
That's right, yeah.
Oh, it's fucking
I'm too vain. Was it? I'm too vain to live as a cripple. I
it
think
could be,
something like that. Yeah.
Oh, what a character, and I've seen him in a couple of films. I didn't particularly like him in them.
Well, and
I never got into Lost, so I can't comment on that.
He was good at Lost, in fairness to him, but it doesn't matter because that film for me, like, the way he acted in that film is.
And he's like a poker straight character.
Yeah,
you know, and he's obviously
pristine suits.
Yeah,
he's very. He doesn't even get dirty up until pretty much the end. Like his white suit stays white through the whole thing.
He's a ladies' man, and
the bit with his horse.
Oh yeah,
the only thing he actually cared about was his fucking horse.
Yeah, and he's like, no way, those fucking scumbags are going to take my horse or whatever. But that actually, I presume it wasn't the troglodytes that took the horse.
No, that was the other
Mexicans.
group of whoever was kind of hunting their campfires now. They were dead. You know, they were dead wired that the minute they shot those two fellas that they had to fucking haul ass. So they broke camp and shagged off. But they were followed, is the obvious say, I think. And they got their horses. They're only really after the horses. I think anything else they'd have on them wouldn't be as valuable as the horses. I imagine is the idea that they're getting across there.
But it's probably like they're probably a gang like the first two who start off the whole fucking problem, who are killing people in their sleep, and robbing their boats.
Yeah, something similar. That whole the opening of the film was just fucking vicious. Horrible.
Like it literally opens with someone being their fucking throat being slit. Like, you know, I wasn't sure what way it was going to go because I had a rough idea of the story, but again, having a rough idea of the story and seeing what happens are two completely different things.
You see that's your man. He's actually a famous actor. The fella, the old fella who was showing him how to cut the throat properly.
Oh yeah.
He's in. You remember Devil's Rejects? He's Captain Spaulding in the Devil's Rejects. But he's been in loads of horror films and stuff for years and years.
He's a very distinctive voice.
He has, yeah.
So that's.
I'm delighted you finally watched it, and I'm also delighted you loved it. Did you? Is that one of your Blu-rays that you ordered? Is it? Good stuff.
The other one is the mystery film.
All right,
because I got Brawl, which I haven't watched yet. I got that. I got.
You haven't watched Brawl on Blu-ray yet?
I haven't watched it yet. No, I haven't watched it yet. Yeah. So that's. I'm just gonna cross up on Tomahawk. I'm gonna have to give a shout out to Arrow, and not for the reasons you normally give a shout out to them. I've never ordered anything from them before, right? A big shout out to Rebecca and Arrow because I've never had customer service as good as this.
Fair play.
And I'll tell you what.
I'm delighted to hear that because I love that company, and to hear that their customer service is as good.
What happened was I went to order that special edition American Werewolf in London. Okay, and there was an issue,
which I've ordered, by the way, along with Nightbreed.
Oh yeah, that's coming around the same time, isn't it?
I think it's the 28th of October, 26th of October, something like that.
Well, there's a long time to wait, but you needed to get it now. Early bird price now, fantastic price.
They're an amazing price actually for what you're getting with them. Yeah.
But anyway, I went to put through the transaction, and it took the money out of my account. Didn't order the thing, so I tried it again. Same thing again. So it takes it twice. It doesn't order, right? So during the night I went to bed or whatever and I couldn't order it, and during the night they returned the money to me. So I actually tried 5 times to try and order, and eventually I got on to Arrow. I rang them, I emailed them, and so I rang them just to make sure that, you know, I could get it, because I knew if I tried it again it didn't work, I'd just get the money back in half an hour anyway. So Rebecca, in fairness to her, I think she was covering for someone that day, but followed the problem through to its absolute resolution. Now, they couldn't do anything about the problem. It was to do with the payments people. Yeah. So you know yourself.
That's the usual thing. It's when we worked in our previous life in the bank, we'd know that any of the Visa card or Visa debit card transactions were coming in through what was it? An intermediate payments crowd.
Kind of a clearing house or whatever.
Sometimes shit would go wrong there. It wouldn't be the bank's fault, and it wouldn't be, say, fucking Argos or whoever it was you were buying from's fault either, but it was up to us to fix it. So it was up to Rebecca to fix it. But she did a good job.
Yeah, absolutely. And she saw it through to the end, and she told me how to solve the problem, and now I just have to wait till October till it arrives. So and then I told Rebecca the name of the podcast, so if you're listening, big shout out and big thank you again for
Fair play to
all your
Rebecca.
help.
That's the kind of customer service that keeps your fans loyal.
Absolutely,
It should certainly be highlighted. And also, good product keeps your fans loyal.
Exactly.
Arrow have been consistent in that.
You can have a fantastic product, but if there's issues that people can't access it and there's nothing you can do for them, or you don't bother doing anything for them, not even there's nothing you can do. There was nothing Arrow could do to solve that problem, bar tell me what I had to do to
fix it.
And that's all you ask. You know what I mean? Instead, you know,
just
I'm not going to sit there and
good
bitch and moan
and do your best.
She also apologised for not having John Carpenter Hold music as well, which is
they absolutely should.
Absolutely, yeah.
They'd probably be hit with many lawsuits, but they should still do it anyway.
So yeah, that's Arrow, and a big thank you to Rebecca again. Right, the mystery movie. This is in my top 5, right?
Films of all time.
Yep, it is just right in my wheelhouse. Right, it's exactly what I wanted a movie.
Your and my wheelhouses are different, Derek. That's the only thing.
I guarantee it. It's Sorcerer.
Oh, you got Sorcerer!
I got Sorcerer, yeah.
Oh, how did you get? Because I'm really excited. How did you get that? Where'd you get that from?
I got it from Amazon. It was
on Blu-ray.
40th anniversary.
Excellent. Okay, is there a little note by William Friedkin on the inside?
There is. Yes.
This is his colour corrected version.
Yes,
excellent.
it is fucking phenomenal.
Hey, you've heard me talk about this film before.
Exactly, yeah. No, because I was just winding you up saying I was 99% sure you'd seen it. I knew you'd seen it. I knew you'd be happy.
Man, I'm over the moon. Do you know that the lengths I went to get that? I was always fascinated by the movie poster for that. You know, that the truck kind of coming across the Wrigley Bridge and a fella crawling away from it, and then Sorcerer in kind of horror movie kind of font or style. I always thought that's what it was. It was like a horror film. When I was a kid, I thought it was a horror film. And it wasn't until years later, like I was talking to the old man about it, and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, it's a fucking great film." And the original French version, Wages of Fear, that it's related to, is also an excellent film. And I eventually kind of went looking for it, and I was like, you know, all the DVD releases were kind of like, people were saying they're a bit shit, the quality's a bit shit, and blah blah blah. But there was a Blu-ray release in fucking France, of all places, and I was on Amazon, and I was just dedicated to getting it. So I ended up spending. It's probably one of the most expensive Blu-rays I ever bought. I bought paid €48 or something to get it on Blu-ray. This has gone back about 4 years ago or so. And it's like a media book, and it has like the note from Friedkin. It has the note from Friedkin and everything else. And I just remember, like, you know, halfway through it was going, this is the best 40 quid I ever spent, like, because it's just fucking brilliant. My God, fucking what's his face is amazing in it. Chief Brody, Roy Scheider.
Yeah,
he's just amazing. Even the way that film starts, it starts with, like, you know,
little vignettes of where everybody comes from.
like the shit that they're all after getting involved in. It's insane, isn't
it? Apparently they cut that out and they changed it into, they showed it in flashbacks.
Correct.
In one particular version.
Yeah,
I swear, if I saw that version now, I would have been pissed off.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the film's great, but fuck me, that was
the way that's filmed. Friedkin is amazing for film and for how he makes adult films.
Yeah.
Like, you know, for a relatively intelligent adult to watch.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because there's stuff that happens in it that has no kind of pre-description of what's going on. Like, you know, you just suddenly see them in the shack with the nitroglycerin, like, you know, and you see him with a bit of it on his finger, and he goes like that, he flicks it, and it goes poof, into a piece of grass. You go, what the fuck's going on? And then it's like 3 or 4 scenes later, then you see them putting the sand in the trucks and then putting the fucking nitroglycerin on the sand to stop it from moving, and you're going, it's because it fucking shakes. And then he explains it to Roy Scheider,
and who can drive, and
it's just fucking class.
It's definitely up there now.
I arse like a fist for most of that fucking film.
I tell you, what was it?
The explosion of the oil, the pumping station.
Yes.
The way the explosion was filmed, it was like, fuck, that was like something out of a documentary or something. It was incredible.
About Friedkin, right, and my interesting little facts about Friedkin, the one I was telling you before, which I'm going to say after this, but Friedkin, you talk about the way John Carpenter can film headlights.
Yeah.
Friedkin can film anything moving. Look at everything moving. Look at all the movement that happens on screen. This is going to sound fucking artsy-fartsy, but
I get what you're saying.
If you look at the overhead shots of that little shitty village in that South American country, everything moving. Moving
in a perfect time. And
it looks like a real working village. And I swear to God, I was sweating watching it because of I could feel the humidity.
You see them in that little dive bar and they're drinking like a bottle. The bottle even looks warm, like, you know. They're all sweating, like, and you see them taking their hats off and going like that and put the hats back on.
Where was I? I was somewhere where it was really humid and it kind of looked like that. You know what I mean? I think it was Thailand or somewhere like that. Yeah. And I could feel, it brought me back there, and I could feel the humidity and feel the stickiness in the air when I'm watching that. It is fucking unreal. It's definitely up there now.
Yeah.
In, you know, and again, similar to Bone Tomahawk, it doesn't really get cracking till after an hour. They don't actually hit the
But it
wrong laugh
doesn't need
for
to
an
get
hour.
because it's just that development of the plot
Yes.
and the characters and the story.
Exactly.
And when those characters come together and you know what they've all done,
Yeah.
like, you know, you kind of have that pre-understanding of why they're all in this shithole trying to fucking live and etch out a living, and why all of a sudden that they want to get back, or they want to get money to try and do something, and their only real shot to get away from this hell is driving these trucks that could blow up at any fucking second, like, you know. But you remember that scene where they're driving along the fucking side of the mountain, and you see the truck in the background just goes up. It's like, oh my god, we were just with those characters like only a few minutes ago, and all of a sudden there's
your man says he starts talking about his watch, and then the wheel bursts, the tire blows out, and then next thing the fucking bandits show up out of nowhere.
Oh, that's it, just fucking see the bandits,
like Bone Tomahawk, and I'm only comparing because I watched the two of them in the last week.
Oh, they'd have that same gritty realism to them, though.
Yeah, but and that's it. And it's the stuff happening out of nowhere. There's no fucking pretense, and there's no kind of. And obviously, the two bridge crossing scenes, nearly identical, but they're both, you know, again, arse as tight as a fist. You don't know what the fuck's going to happen, because you genuinely don't in that film, because one of the guys they pick originally gets murdered by the assassin. And obviously that's why he was there. Because I was thinking, this guy is coming in. Obviously he's a big character because he appears at the start. He's the second character you see. And then he's saying, I'm just going to transit here and here's a few quid. Can I, you know, get somewhere to drink or whatever? Why is he staying here? You know, like, and then obviously he murders your man. That's obviously what he was there for. Then he gets roped in. Oh, it's fucking brilliant. And he develops as a character. Nobody fucking likes him. And then he develops, and Roy Scheider gets to actually respect him and like him. And what does he say to him as he's driving along after the bandit attack? What are you going to do with the money? I'll get the best 2 whores in fucking wherever, Mexico, wherever he's going, you know. But fucking brilliant.
Yeah, it's class. There's so much about that film. Every aspect of it. Did you cop Roy Scheider's truck is actually called Sorcerer?
No, it's the other one's called Sorcerer.
No, it's Roy Scheider's truck.
No, it's the other one's one that blows up is called Sorcerer.
I won't argue with that. I have to watch it again. Yeah, I was convinced it was Scheider's truck was called. That's where the name came from.
No, because that's where I thought, because I knew you told me one of the trucks where the name came from. The one Roy Scheider's driving, Lazarus and Sorcerer. I see. Is the other one. It's to put you off because you think the main truck's going to survive this film.
Fair enough.
And maybe Lazarus isn't, or Lazaro, whatever. It's Spanish for Lazarus, because when I saw it, I put it into Google Translate and thought it might be Spanish for Sorcerer. It's not Spanish for Lazarus. But I've spoken about Friedkin doing, you know that scene in the French Connection, again one of my favourite films of all time. No, not even a chase, you know the bit where they're pulling apart the car to find the drugs. They do it. He does nearly,
it's actually a deadly scene, that is.
He does nearly exactly the same thing in Sorcerer, where they're pulling all the parts together to build the 2 trucks, and it's nearly exactly beat for beat exactly the same, and I don't have a problem with that, like, you know.
No, I'm delighted you have that. That's in your collection.
Big time.
Before I go home, let me have a quick look at the case. Just
absolutely,
to have a read of the specs.
It has that the reversible one. Oh, it looks fantastic. I don't have the best telly in the world, but jeez, it looks fucking fantastic. There's no grit where there shouldn't be. I don't know if I complained about The Godfather before, but the long shots, there's a bit of grittiness there, a bit of, you know, frame grit. But other than that, it's perfect. This doesn't suffer from that. So, yeah. Do you want to hear my interesting William Friedkin story?
Now, you've been talking about this fact that you haven't to go. Sorry, I'm just looking up something here, just really quickly before we kick off. Because I got it right. Even looking up, I got it. That's the right thing for I forget it.
You may know this already. I'm not too sure if you do. Have you heard of William Friedkin's film Cruising?
Cruising, yeah. Al Pacino's
Al Pacino, yeah. And you know that's based on a real life murder, the body bag murderer.
Correct.
Do you know who the body bag murderer was?
No.
He was never actually proven guilty of it, but cops in New York say that it was definitely him. William Friedkin, when researching Cruising, wanted to talk to actual murderers, and he found out that one guy who worked on The Exorcist, who was the doctor's assistant, the actor in The Exorcist, had been locked up for murdering a guy. And while talking to Friedkin and several other inmates, he bragged about chopping up gay people and putting them in bags for fun.
Fuck's sake.
So William Friedkin had not only talked to the guy just by pure coincidence that he was trying to research this film.
So he'd already started the film and then ended up inadvertently talking to the murderer that the film's about.
He hadn't started the film yet.
Oh, I see.
But what happened, the funny thing about it was, he had actually employed him a couple of years earlier.
That's insane.
As an actor.
Yeah.
That is fucking crazy. But it's only something that happened to William Friedkin, like.
Well, yeah, see, Friedkin, like that, when Friedkin's making his films, it's all real. So he gets into the psyche of these people. He gets down and really into. I mean, like the stories of and Friedkin on set then as well apparently is like, you know,
a monster.
Yeah, but that's where he gets the film from. Like, and apparently, what's the old priest in The Exorcist name?
Karras.
The old priest, Max von Sydow.
Oh yeah.
Before Max von Sydow had to do the scene where he was starting to freak out, like he realised he couldn't fucking handle this, and he was starting to get shocked. Between scenes, Friedkin went up and gave him a fucking massive slap and sent him in then and said, "Here, go," and he was like visibly shook in the fucking scene because Friedkin slapped him. But you know, you wonder where that story came from. It's been embellished, probably, like, you know.
But apparently, the Roy Scheider thing. Apparently, they didn't get on Sorcerer.
Right.
Now that's Roy Scheider's best performance. I'm fucking sorry. I love Jaws. Don't get me wrong.
Honestly,
I love the French Connection.
Scheider is brilliant in every film he's ever done. Scheider is brilliant. Even in Sequest DSV, he's brilliant in it.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
You never saw the show Sequest DSV?
I know I've never watched it.
Like Blue Thunder and all that. He is Scheider, and 2010, the year we made contact, he was fucking astonishing in that film as well. I love Roy Scheider, but the thing with Roy Scheider was he was hard as nails. Roy Scheider.
Yeah.
I don't know where he grew up, but he grew up rough, like, you know, and then became an actor. And I remember reading stories with Scheider and Friedkin that the two of them were like bulls, like this. But then apparently Scheider, then when he saw The Sorcerer, and actually saw how much shit Friedkin got for The Sorcerer, because The Sorcerer flopped when it came out. That was the other side of it.
Why?
Because the way it was edited, was it? Or was it?
It was released the same week as Star Wars.
Oh, but there you go. Everything's downhill. But that's really interesting, actually. But I remember reading somewhere, or something, I could be wrong on this, I was reading somewhere that Scheider had a full respect for Friedkin as well, like, you know, even though they kind of didn't get on.
No, but there was a story, Friedkin said it himself. He said that he felt that Scheider had become a bit too big for his boots after Jaws, because they'd worked on the French Connection obviously before that.
Yeah.
And then in the meantime, Scheider worked on Jaws, was this massive hit, and then next thing they worked together on Sorcerer, and he's got a bit too big for his boots. And Friedkin said about Scheider that he never wanted to be that leading man. He always wanted to be the kind of part of an ensemble kind of cast. And I don't think he's the leading man in Sorcerer, though. I know he's the most well known of the four.
The trucks are kind of like, you know, the trucks are big parts of the big characters in that film too.
But I can see where Friedkin's coming from, because you look at him, the three films that I know him best from is French Connection, where it's him and Gene Hackman.
Yeah.
Then you've Jaws, where it's obviously the three of them. I know he's probably the biggest part of the three of them, but that film really sinks in when it's the three of them.
He has the biggest part.
Yeah.
But Robert Shaw steals the scenes.
Oh yeah.
Like Quint and Richard Dreyfuss is amazing as well. But every minute Quint is on that. Like, you know the bit where Brody goes into the radio to radio in for help.
Yeah.
And Quint goes in with the baseball bat and smashes the radio up. And it's just real nonchalant, and then stares him down.
Yeah.
And you see fucking Brody starts backing away a little bit, like he's a little bit afraid of Quint. Like, you know what I mean? To me, Quint stole the show.
That's another film, actually. Sorry to go a bit off topic, but there's another film I have recorded there. Robert Shaw at the Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. I have to watch that again.
Superb. Tell me please tell me you never saw the fucking remake.
I did see the remake. Oh. Yeah, shit.
Just don't compare, please.
It's the same storyline, just
pretty much.
One's shit and one's good.
But Robert Shaw is fucking deadly in it.
Absolutely brilliant, yeah. And what's your man's name? Plays Garber.
In
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3. He's in The Odd Couple.
Here,
fuck.
Plants, not Plants.
No, not Plants. Not Jack Lemmon, the other fella. Fucking
Walter Matthau.
Fucking hell. Brilliant in that. Absolutely brilliant.
There you go.
Yep. Excuse me. So yeah, that's my.
I'm so fucking buzzed you watch Sorcerer. I really am.
You've no idea. I was dying to tell you that I got it, and I was hoping to watch it and enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to enjoy it. Again, it's perfect. It's just a perfect film for me. Great cast. You know, one great actor that I knew of. I'm not going to pretend I knew the rest because I fucking didn't. Friedkin, you know, the storyline appealed to me, and then when you sit down and watch it, and it's everything you want it to be.
Yeah.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah,
so good. And can I just say, I think Bone Tomahawk's better than Brawl.
They're different films.
I enjoyed Bone Tomahawk.
They're both brilliant, but I would get where you're coming from. Bone Tomahawk had a more, what would you say? There was more excitement in it. There was more to it, like, and there was actually people to root for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, instead of just a cast of monsters.
And there was a little bit of humanity in it. And Kurt Russell's character is just to die for.
Oh yeah.
And his dialogue, particularly his last line, is unbelievable. Meanwhile, you kind of root for. Well, you do root for what's his face in Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
But he's even his wife. You're not even really with us because she was doing a line with somebody else. Like, so he's really the only character there, and yet he is a bad guy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
he's not even an anti-hero. Yeah. He's just a fucking bad guy.
He's a very unpleasant man.
Yeah.
No, if you look at again, like what I liked about Bone Tomahawk, and I say this again, is there was no stupid characters. No idiocy.
There was
drove the plot rather.
Yeah.
Your man, even the Arquette brother. What's his fucking name?
Arquette brother.
He's the
baddie at the start, isn't he? The guy who buries the clothes.
Even
David Arquette is now.
David Arquette, yeah. Even he isn't stupid. He's just on the run. He's
street smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Or, the bleeding Wild West equivalent of street smart, whatever it is. I suppose back then it was just being a scumbag.
Yeah, and like I'm sure, like in the lore of that film, Kurt Russell has shot many a man in the leg in the saloon.
That's the thing. Yeah, he's just so. You know, he did it. It was like bang.
Yeah.
It's like
there were no repercussions. You know, but the one time he uses the wrong person, there are repercussions. It's not a stupid decision to make. No one was even Chicory, who was a bit. How would you say? Scatterbrained or something.
He was scatterbrained. You can tell you can tell he was a man that was grand and fine throughout his whole life.
Yeah.
Probably worked pretty hard. Had his wife. When his wife died, he just went a little bit to shit.
Yeah.
And was really dependent on Kurt Russell keeping him on the straight and narrow. And that's why Kurt, being such a good guy, kept him as his deputy, just to keep him in line, like give him something to do, give him a reason to live.
But
in other words,
even that, when it comes down to it, he turns out to be very capable.
But that's the thing, it was when it came down to it, he actually was. He fucking fought hard, he didn't back away, he wasn't scared, he was brave. And the other thing I loved about that film, actually, they kept calling Bruder's eyepiece the German.
Oh yeah.
Because it was a German made fucking telescopic eyepiece.
You trust me with the German.
Yeah.
And even that shows that your man Bruder's respect for.
He came to respect him eventually because he wouldn't let him have it at the start, you remember?
Yeah.
And then when they finally got to where the cave was, he handed him over to fucking the German.
But that's it, he sees him becoming capable.
What you call it? Chicory's expression when he looks through the eyepiece as well. I remember saying, it's like, I've never seen this film before. It's superb.
What a fucking film! Yeah, that's up there now. It's definitely amongst my favourite westerns.
It's one of my favourite films, to be honest with you.
It's up there.
But definitely as a western, and then as a western horror, it's probably the best western horror that's ever been.
I can't think of any good western horrors.
There's been a few. There was Purgatory, Near Dark is kind of one. A bunch of others. I was only actually looking at an article there not so long ago that our man Kevin Shields linked me onto, and it was really interesting about horror westerns. I want to say something else about William Friedkin. Actually, a person you and I both know, but I'd be afraid to say his name because it's not fair we're talking him first. But a person you and I both knows Friedkin and says he is an absolute gentleman and a really nice guy. And when you know him directly,
you'll have to talk to me off air and tell me who this
is. Yeah. But I love hearing that because
it's not fucking Dan, is it?
Your brother, yeah, much was, yeah.
Fucking kill him.
One day, hopefully, we'll get that story from the source. But it's Friedkin definitely top 10 directors of all time.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
And that's based on 3 films. There are 3 films by him that I would. No, and
I let's do an IMDb.
I haven't seen Cruising, and that's my next. That's one of my next orders off Arrow is going to be
Arrow's copy of Cruising. Yeah, it's looking good, alright.
The Al Pacino, Friedkin kind of murder mystery kind of thing, and that's
well, you know it also. I don't really want to spoil that for you.
No, don't tell me about it. Don't tell me about it.
I'd be really curious to hear your take on it because there's a lot more to that film than you just described.
Yeah, well, that's it. There's a lot more to Sorcerer than you would think. Yeah, and I prefer to not know.
That's it.
You know, and again, like even the French Connection. You look at that again. That's up there. One of my favourite films of all time. You think it's Doyle and Grosso just chasing the Frenchman, but there's so much more to that.
So he's done 38 films. The Devil and Father A. Morth, a documentary that's actually was on Netflix. I didn't watch that one. Killer Joe. Did you see Killer Joe?
I haven't seen it. No,
I didn't see that one either. And I got excited about it. It's a 2011 film, and I got excited about it when I saw it was Freaking, but I just never got around to watching it.
I've heard good reports.
Here's a film I did watch called Bug.
No.
About a girl that lives on her own. She's a little bit kind of self-conscious or whatever, and she hooks up with this guy. You know him. What's his name? I'm just looking at IMDb here. Michael Shannon.
Oh yeah. Love Michael Shannon.
Yeah, The Shape of Water he was in, and he was in Midnight Special.
Yeah.
What was the TV show he was in? He was a real hardliner on the TV show. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, Friedkin's movies. Bugs. Sorry, he comes in. He convinces this girl that they're getting infected with these bugs, and it's in their teeth, and he has to pull the teeth out, and he has to cover the inside of the house in tin foil, and she gets completely enamored with him and convinced by his stories and everything else, and it's a really, really, really kind of document of a descent into fucking. I wouldn't even say madness, but what's that maniacal kind of.
Thinking you're sick when you're not.
Yeah, that sort of stuff.
Kind of Munchausen syndrome, whatever.
Kind of, yeah. So he done The Haunted, Rules of Engagement. He done a TV movie version of 12 Angry Men, which I never saw.
Wouldn't mind seeing it. Is that the one with Ozzie Davis in it?
Let's see. 12 Angry. There's what's his face in it? Jack Lemmon.
I love
Ozzie Davis. Yeah, correct. Yeah.
I've heard.
George C. Scott's in it.
Yeah, I might watch that.
James Gandolfini. Jack Lemmon.
Jesus, great casting there.
Yeah, Edward James Olmos.
Just going back to Bone Tomahawk. Do you know who's a really small but brilliant part in that? Is the Native American out of Fargo.
Say it to me again?
The Native American. Have you seen the TV show Fargo?
Oh, he comes into the bar at the start and tells them about the troglodytes up in the hills. Yeah,
tiny little role, but fucking
he's in it for a second.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
Sean Young's in it too.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy. Like,
there's one. Did you ever see The Guardian?
No.
About the girl that comes in to look after the kids and any of the kids, but then brings the kids off to a fucking tree and sacrifices the kids to the tree.
No.
William Friedkin did that. I won't give that away. There's just one small bit away in fairness. There's one scene where she gets chased by these three fellas looking to rape her, and she leads them to the tree. I'll just say no more. It sounds stupid, but it's actually what I think is a cool film. Rampage, 1987. What do I know that film? Liberal district attorney decides to seek the death penalty for a man who slaughtered a family at Christmas time, then drank their blood. He escapes and starts killing again. Holy shit. Michael Biehn's in that.
I think
William Friedkin.
I've heard of that.
I've never seen it.
No, you're right.
I just remember reading the name, but I've never seen it. Okay, that's one on the fucking list,
yeah.
Immediately. Who else? What else? To Live and Die. To Live and Die in LA. He did that as well.
I never saw that.
That's a great film. That's actually one of our. I think that's on our label.
Oh, is it?
Pretty sure it's on our label. Yeah, that's Christopher Walken, isn't it? No, I'm getting mixed up. It's not Christopher Walken. I'm thinking of King of New York. King of New York's on the Arrow label. Willem Dafoe was in To Live and Die in LA. I'm getting mixed up. I'd have to check that and make sure I know what I'm talking about there. Cruising, 1980, Deal of the Century, Brings Job, Sorcerer, The Exorcist, French Connection, The Boys in the Band.
I mean, in fairness, those three films are just.
Oh, yeah, he's brilliant. Killer Joe. I think we should probably make an effort to see Killer Joe.
Killer Joe. I want to see Cruising, definitely. I said that's my next Arrow kind of order. Because it's on the thing. I made my wish list on Arrows, a couple of bits in there. What's the name of that fucking film? John Carpenter one, Kurt Russell in it, completely escaping me now.
Escape from New York. Escape from LA.
The thing. No, the other one. Big Trouble in
China.
Yeah, that's on my list as well.
It's my favourite film of all time.
Yeah, I need to.
You separate that from Star Wars. Just keep Star Wars away.
I need to rewatch that, but I'm gonna.
When was the last time you watched Big Trouble?
Oh Jesus! It must have been 5-6 years ago.
Oh man!
But I haven't recorded. I haven't recorded off the TV in the Skybox there. I haven't watched it, but I don't actually own it.
Oh, you need to own it.
No, I will. And
I remember paying £29.99, I think, for the very first DVD that when it came out.
Oh yeah,
in a double disc DVD special edition.
I think, did they have a thing on Arrow?
Huh?
Do they have a add the thing?
Oh yeah, Arrow have done a beautiful version of the thing, a box set version of the thing, steel book version as well, I think, and standard version. The standard version is still brilliant. Like that's cheap enough on the website.
I told you I watched that a couple of weeks ago.
The thing?
Yeah, just because I could.
Well, it was Eye Bleach for something else that you just watched, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I was looking old school.
Yeah.
Brain bleach. Oh yeah, and there's another thing I started watching, Inside Number 9. I won't give much away about it. It's an anthology show on Netflix. You know what anthology shows, they can have peaks and troughs, right?
Yeah.
The first two episodes are brilliant, then it kind of goes downhill a bit, then it kind of improves, and in season 2, episode 2 is one of the best pieces of TV I've ever fucking seen.
Season 2, episode 2. Okay.
Now what I would advise is, usually anthology shows you can dip in whatever way you want.
Yeah.
I would advise watching the first season first,
right,
to get a flavour of what
I wouldn't be the type,
there.
even with an anthology, to do that. I would always be looking to watch from the start. Even with Black Mirror, I watched Black Mirror from the first and up.
it's so many episodes have actually genuinely affected me. Like, you know, I watched a couple last night now, and there's one of them, and it's not the best episode, but it ends in such a way that it actually genuinely affected me. I was like, oh fuck me, man. I'm like, you know, you're when you get into it and you realise kind of what to expect out of some of the episodes, you kind of tense up a bit. You know, right. Kind of way, because you know something bad might happen or something good might happen or whatever, and it felt like some of them are horror, some of them are supernatural, some of them are just psychological, some of them seem one way and then will switch to another way, and like there's one about witch trials. It's fucking brilliant. Like, and
what is it like an adult themed?
It's 100% an adult thing, absolutely.
So it's gritty and grisly, and
it can be gritty and grisly. It can be funny. It can be stupid. And there's one of the episodes I really didn't like. That's the only one I really didn't like. But like, there's one about witch trials, and without giving anything away, this is at the very start of it. There's two witch experts that come in to a witch trial, and one of them is all full on, you know, fucking burned a witch, and she's definitely a witch, and he's kind of pushing, you know, this. Remember, obviously we didn't live through it, but the old witch trials where they just pick someone and say, "You're a witch," and fucking burn them at the stake because you know, one of the cows died or something. And the other fella's kind of like, I'm not too sure if this is right, but the whole way it plays out is just fucking perfect. You know, it's a great episode. But season 2, episode 2, work your way up to it, is one of the best pieces of TV I've ever fucking seen, and it genuinely affected me. And I was like, oh man, this is just fucking phenomenally good.
Cool.
But even at the start of an episode, if you're not sure about how good you think it's going to be or what way it's going to go, you have to watch the full half hour.
They're only half-hour long episodes.
They're only half-hour long episodes. You
can definitely fit a few of them in.
Burn through them, yeah. Because I have another one I started last night, and I got about 5 minutes. I'm too tired to concentrate on this. I was just after watching TOMAHAWK, like, so I was a bit kind of
drained, emotionally drained
exactly,
after that, and literally holding your Mickey, I'd say, for the rest of the night.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't ever want to be split in half from the dick up.
Oh fuck. Actually, no. Even if the viewer, Kurt Russell saying to him, "Now, Nick, I'm gonna fucking avenge you."
We're gonna avenge these. Yeah. The cavalry are coming. The cavalry are coming. And Cherokee's like, "Are they?" Yeah. No, Cherokee, they're not.
Kurt Russell gets taken out with taking Cherokee's like, "Don't worry, I'll avenge it." And he's like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah.
So, anything else?
No. It's just. I'm gonna fly through a couple of bits. I did watch a film. I signed up to Amazon Prime.
Oh yeah.
Not advertising Amazon Prime or anything like that at the moment, but it definitely seems to be a good service so far. But they had a film on it that I've always known about that I never saw. 79 or 1980 sci-fi horror film. And I've always known about it because it's somewhat revered. There's definitely fans of this film. It's called Without Warning. No, it's literally a precursor to Predator.
Alright.
The basic premise of this is there is an alien that hunts out in the forest.
Okay.
And it hunts humans for sport.
Okay.
Now, but the thing about it is it's ultra cheap. Yeah. Like this thing, when you watch it, it's filmed with like. Did you ever watch an old episode of like Dallas or something, and it has that weird kind of like the cameras, like all the colours kind of bleed together, and it has that weird kind of fuzziness to it and everything. That's pretty much how this film was filmed.
So just when you're saying that Inside Number 9, the episode I started to watch is filmed in that manner.
Like the 70s kind of colour bleed, kind of fuzziness.
Yeah, like when the camera trails across and there's a candle,
it drags
it follows. Yeah.
So it's filmed like that. Yeah. So it has that style, it has that look to it and everything else. So you're watching it, you're going, okay, this film was filmed for nothing. And yet it has Jack Palance in it and Martin Landau. Oh, yeah. You go, what the fuck? How'd you get these in? But it very much shows its cheapness.
Yeah.
But what I remember, we had the discussion before about cheap films being really bad because they're just fucking cheap and there's no creativity in them, or cheap films that may not be good, but may not be good overall on a technical aspect, but you really do appreciate it because they have new ideas, or they're trying something, or you can see them making the effort. Like the alien in it anyway, you don't really see the alien at all in it, but what it does is it throws these weird little fucking creatures that fly through the air. He flings them like a frisbee. They latch onto you, and these yolks go into your skin and starts fucking turning you into something, like starts fucking messing with you or whatever. But it does close-ups every time one of them lands on somebody. It does a big close-up and you see the little barbs going into the skin, like it's really like a really clunky kind of practical effect, but it works. That's the thing, though. It works because
one guy with like 2 sticks pushing it up like that.
Probably not far off that now, in fairness, but it really does work. And the way that the one thing I'd say that is actually brilliant about it is the way they film the alien when they finally show the alien. The way it's done is excellent. It's so creepy. It's really creepy. Except for one actual kind of typical scare scene where the alien pushes its hand through a window and tries to grab her.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
if you cut that scene out, it'd be
And if
fine.
someone goes into a Jackson, closes the mirror, and the alien's behind it.
Something, it doesn't have that in it, but something as corny as that. It's an awful, but it's definitely worth watching. Like, you know, and I have to hand it to it. You know, the people who made it. I don't know. I'm sure there's a big backstory behind the people who made it and everything else. But there was passion there was effort, there was a lot of work put into it. Like, you know, they got Jack Palance and fucking Martin Landau, and it's actually great watching them two act because they can act. You know?
It's weird watching one of those crappy films with an actual actor in it.
With actual actors in it, because the two main characters were total newbies, but they did a fine job, like, you know, in fairness. And there's one or two silly scenes there where he leaves her in the truck to go in and try and get help in a bar, like instead of bringing her into the bar as well. But they need to do that for the plot, you know, silly thing, like, you know. But you overlook that silly stuff because the rest of it's so. What's the word I'm looking for? Irresistible. Like, you can't help but like what they're doing. So that was that one.
Sorry, could you just, before you go any further, Amazon Prime, I signed up to the 6-month free trial last year.
Yeah.
And I found there was fucking nothing on it.
There's loads on it.
Like, there's loads on it now, but obviously at the time it was probably a bit like Netflix when Netflix first
There's
kicked
loads
off.
on it. There's loads of cheapy horror movies and stuff in it.
What annoyed me about it was, you know, when Netflix only had what you could say. You couldn't click into say the Avengers was on. You couldn't click into the Avengers and it would say not available in your country.
I haven't seen that yet. Now.
That was what was happening to me with Amazon Prime when I got it. Now this was a good while ago, and I know they're obviously after stepping up their game a little bit. So
they definitely have. There's a lot there.
Resubscribe because I want to see that The Boys.
That's what I was just about to say. Myself and the missus, we binged The Boys, watched the whole lot, and it just blew me away.
Yeah, I've heard it's fucking brilliant.
Like there was moments I was looking at it, going, "Is this happening? This is actually fucking happening." It's brilliant, and you know, I don't really want to spoil it. You know the premise of it, don't you?
I actually don't know the premise of it.
Will I tell you?
No, say nothing. All I know is Carl Urban's in it.
And he's brilliant.
And he's brilliant, yeah.
And Carl Urban is fucking brilliant, and he does.
Because the podcast I listened to, actually, this Weekly Planet was talking about this for a long time, and they actually reviewed it last week. Now, if they review something that I haven't seen, in fairness, they time code it unlike us, and I will skip it, but I didn't even hear the premise of it. They never even said anything about the premise. So I'm very much looking forward to watching that.
It was every aspect of it I loved, and it leaves you salivating for season 2.
Yeah.
And season 2 was even greenlit before it was even broadcast.
Yeah.
They were that confident.
That's a good sign.
Oh yeah, big time.
And I wonder, are all these providers, like we were saying about Netflix, obviously Amazon are jumping on this bandwagon as well. I know Amazon Prime and obviously Disney now.
I'm just about to talk about that now because The Boys was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I started watching The Man in the High Castle.
Yeah, that's the Philip K. Dick thing, isn't it?
Yes, I've watched about 6 episodes, and they're long little episodes, and it started off. I really wasn't fucking sure, Derek. Like, you know, there was a couple of. See, when we were talking one of our episodes about subtle directing that we loved.
Yeah.
Well, there was little subtle bits that were like really poor, like, you know what I'm saying to myself, the writing seems to be stupid here and the directing definitely seems to be stupid. And I took a few notes, but there was one part the film or the show starts off, and I'm not going to spoil it for because overall I'm really enjoying it. It's very good, like, you know, it is really, really good. But there was just, I think it's because we've become so used to seeing really top quality writing and really top quality directing with TV shows, and there's so much money and funding on TV shows from the likes of Netflix and Amazon, in fairness, and wherever else, that and HBO, and that, where you have directors going to really prove themselves. Oh yeah, we can fucking make this great show. I'm going to really fucking show how great I am as a director, and really fucking making quality stuff that we're watching. It's a golden age for TV right now. We're living in it right now. It's amazing. And I think we're so spoiled that there was little moments in it, and these are going to sound so fucking nitpicky, but I couldn't help noticing them. The show starts off anyway. You know the premise. It's
Germans in World War One, World War Two. God damn it!
They won World War II. You could pretty much say the Axis. So the Nazi Empire comes across and basically rules pretty much half of America, and the Japanese on the Pacific states, and then there's this big huge neutral zone in the middle because the Japanese were part of the Axis power. Yeah. So the idea is that they took over the world. And there's tensions between the Japanese Emperor and the Reich. But it starts off with a guy, you see him sitting in the cinema, he gets a little note from another guy sitting in the cinema, he shags off on his whatever it is he's doing, so he's walking through New York, through Times Square, and there's the big fucking Nazi swastika on the big screen in the middle of Times Square, and there's all sorts of stuff, and then you've seen like propaganda and advertisements for, like, you know, the Germans have made a Concorde style supersonic plane back in 1962 or so, you know, when it's and all this sort of stuff. And he goes to a mechanic shop, but as he's walking there, he's walking in Times Square, and he walks down a street, and then he walks down an alleyway, and as he walks down the alleyway, there's a bunch of brown shirt secret police, and they're battering some fella, but as he turns the corner, he stops and looks at them, and they look at him, and then he just keeps walking on, like, you know.
Yeah. That
would never happen. A good director would have said, don't stop, keep walking, glance at them and glance away, and then I'll cut to the brown shirts and cut back to you, and one of the brown shirts will have a little look at you and see what's going on. That's what would have happened. You wouldn't just walk around the corner, stop, look at them, and then just keep walking on again. It's just so, it was so fucking like, that's not what would happen. Right. The director should have been on this game and said, no, glance at them, then put your head down.
Is this the first episode?
Keep walking. This is the first episode.
First scene of the
first
episode.
It's the first scene, yeah. Right. So I was kind of going like, oh no, please no. And then the next bit of dialogue happened, and it was real like, oh, I've heard this so many times before. Yeah. Where it's like, he's been sent to this mission from the Resistance across America. And it's in the first 10 minutes, so I'm not going to spoil it. Sent to this mission across America, or across to somewhere in America, anyway, Canton I think it is, to deliver something. And he's up there with the two heads of the Resistance, and they're mechanics by day, like, you know, resistance by night sort of thing. Yeah. And your man pulls out a gun, a handgun, and puts it in the table. You know how to use that? And your man goes, picks it, goes, yeah, like the movies, you just point and shoot. I was like, oh god! And then straight away, then, because you've heard how many times you've heard, just point and shoot. And then the other guy comes walking out, and he says, here, if you're falling asleep in the truck, take one of these. And he looks in his little pills. And he goes, oh, that's why they call you the doc. He goes, hey, this kid catches on quick, eh? Yeah. And you're like, I've heard that a million times as well. Fucking, who wrote this? Like, fucking 10-year-old, for fuck's sake.
No.
But.
God.
I'm gonna.
You're gonna qualify that now, right?
I'm gonna quantify that and say, put that aside, because it is great.
Yeah.
It really does kick off. It has a great. It moves well. It has some slow plodding sections. It has some really fast moving bits. There's some great characters in it. The actual German High Command in New York is excellent the way it plays out. Then some of the tensions going on then with the Japanese and the Germans is really good, and the Japanese are panicking because the Germans are flying around in fucking supersonic jets while the Japanese are still using cruise liners, you know, all this sort of stuff like that. It is really interesting, and you just can't help liking it. And then you can't help thinking like, okay, probably wasn't as much of a budget here, because you know some of the CGI is really, like, there's a bit where there's a fucking piece of paper that's very integral to the story and it's supposed to be blowing in the wind, but it's a fucking CGI piece of paper and it's really CGI. And going, would you just fucking put a piece of paper down the fan off camera and let it blow, like, you know, for fuck's sake.
It was probably cheaper than a piece of paper.
But these days you wouldn't be surprised at how much CGI is turned out. But anyway, you know, they are very much nitpicks. Overall, it's great. I'm up to episode 6, I think, and it's gone on to season 4 is in production now, due to drops whenever. So it's good.
You
it's
have
really
to forgive teething problems like that.
Oh, I do absolutely. There was two other bits in it. One of them was another cliche that I can't help notice now is, okay, there's one scene, and I'm going to give that away, where some main characters are ambushed by resistance characters, and they all jump out of bushes with their old guns. You see them all cocking their guns, ready to fucking blow these people apart, like, right? And then your one says, I brought this, and she goes to put her hand into the bag, but they all lunching forward, and like, it's like they recocked their guns all again. Like, I was like, we're ready to fucking shoot you. There's nothing in this bag. I was like, you just cocked your guns 2 seconds ago. What did you uncock them and then cock them again when you went into a bag?
Yeah,
like, what the fuck?
It's threatening noise.
Like, do away with that.
Yeah.
When you read into the bag, at least have somebody say, hold up. Yeah. You know, like, we'll check it. Hand the bag over or something. Do something like something that would happen in real life. You wouldn't just fucking recock your gun and go back in again. Like,
and I know it's a fantasy thing, and people will argue, you know, that, you know, it's not real life, it's fancy, or but you have to put a certain amount of realism, or else you're not going to get it. You know, you're not going to get invested.
Oh no,
in the
there has to be. You know? Cliches like that for the likes of people like us who've watched so much now at this stage, and we've seen so much good directing. You have to forgive it in certain when so much of the show itself is great. That little things that you can glance over.
And if you are going to use a cliche, use it on purpose. You know, use it to subvert your expectations. Again, like, I'm going to go back to Inside Number 9. There's a couple of cliches, and you kind of go, but then it completely fucking flips, and you can see why they use it. And again, it's like a good writing, I suppose. It's taking a cliche and flipping it on its head, or you know, misdirecting the audience using a cliche or whatever. You know, kind of way.
But the other one, and the last kind of nitpick I have, and I can't really justify this nitpick because the subject matter is Nazis and checking papers, but the whole scene of checking passports for tension. You know, let me see your papers. And you
yeah,
go, oh fuck, he's handing the papers over. The camera does a close up of him looking down at the papers, looking at the German, checking the papers. The camera does a close up of the German, looking at the papers and looking at him to make sure it's the right guy.
25 minutes later.
And then he folds it over and he hands it back and then he walks off all delighted himself. And you know, it happens about a million times in this fucking show. And like by the other one's like, I don't give a fuck if he knows it's him and the fucking passport or not. Jesus, somebody throw a pie, like, you know.
The only thing about that is entirely accurate to real life. Because every time we go up to like an immigration desk, it's always they open it.
Oh, they're the crankiest the fuckers ever as well. Yeah,
like that. The only time it happened to me was in China. It was the happiest man ever. He just goes, "Have a lovely day."
Class. But that's the Mandalorian Castle. I'm really enjoying it. It's really interesting. The characters are good. The writing is overall good. Like, it's just one of those little niggly bits, or stupid bits of dialogue that they could do without. There's some great characters in it. I love the Oberbansturmführer or whatever the fuck he is. He's such a threatening bollocks. He's horrible. And I love the setting, and I love the alternate reality of it. Like, it's all pretty good. It's pretty interesting. And it looks like it's only getting better because it's ramping up. Like, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger each episode. You know?
Premise I've always enjoyed, and I kind of always like adaptations of Philip K. Dick's works. I think from what I've heard now, his writing isn't fantastic. That's only second-hand information somebody else told me.
I've read a few of the stuff. The stuff is good. It can be. It can be kind of confusing sometimes. Like, I found myself going back over something and reading it back again, going, is that what he meant, or is that what's happening here? Hold on, what's happening here? Whoa, what's going on here? Like, you know.
And I know to read, it's not quite like TV where you can watch TV. Like, to read, you really have to concentrate and use your imagination. I think sometimes that maybe is where he can fall down. I don't know. I haven't read any of his stuff. That's just what I've heard, or that's where some authors fall down. Like, even if you take something like, say, Stephen King, you can sit down and watch The Shawshank Redemption. It's only 3 hours. But
you can read Stephen King if you're 10, though.
That's exactly what I was going to say. If you read The Shawshank Redemption, it's a lot lighter than the film, but you still have to use that kind of concentration. You know what I mean? And not imagine Morgan Freeman narrating the book to you because it's a red-headed Irishman. You know what I mean? But so
that's it. What time are we at?
We're just at over an hour.
I think we can wrap it up. I don't have any other notes here. We spoke about the radio, Man High Castle, the boys. I think that's me done.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Fuck you, can wait until I get more stuff to talk about next week.
Yeah, I'll hopefully. What am I going to watch this week? I've exams this week, but that's fine.
Oh,
because I have other stuff.
I do have something to throw in. My 101 films or 101 films order came in. And it's excellent. These Blues were only £6 each. I got Split Second. Rutger Hauer Split Second came in. I started watching it, but I was falling asleep, and it's great crack. You're gonna love that film. It's so much fucking fun. It's Rutger Hauer with a shotgun over his shoulder, just slagging people off and shooting people. It's deadly.
I'm in.
Oh, and also as a little throwback, when I started, because it's so long since I saw Split Second, I had a major flashback to young Joe seeing probably his first ever up close arse of a woman ever. And it's at the start of fucking Split Second. I completely forgot. He goes into like a strip club in London. It's in the future, like, you know, and there's this board dancing, and the camera is like fucking, there's the camera, there's the arse all over the camera, and I was like, whoa, I remember this fucking now. I completely forgot all about it, and it threw back some memories. What else? The other film I got from was Black Christmas. It comes with a poster. It's cool. It's only £6.
I haven't seen Black Christmas.
And one of their Black Label range, which is excellent, and I think you'll like this film, but I haven't watched it yet, is The Cooler. William H. Macy.
I haven't seen it. No, again, that's another type of film. As Kev was talking about, that's another film that's right in
your wheelhouse.
Yeah, I love it. Have you seen Spotlight yet?
No, not yet. No,
it's on Netflix.
I'll get around to it.
Fuck, man, check it out. See, even Kev was saying it. It's a fucking.
He did actually call it out, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh, when I was searching up Arrow, did The Hitcher, but it's a fucking book.
We told you about that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I thought the film was on it though.
Like, you know, every time an Arrow announced that they have a new slate of movies coming for whatever it might be, for the winter or for fucking October, they say join us this Friday 2 p.m. They always put like a picture up of a hook or something. Turned out that was for Candyman. Like, you know, so they give you like a little hint. But I remember one lot of stuff that was coming out, and it looked like people were suggesting it was The Hitcher, and I was going, oh fuck, it's The Hitcher from Arrow, it's going to be a box set, it's going to be class. Getting really excited about it, and then that Friday, then I'm straight onto Facebook, because I have Arrow listed as, like, you know, as soon as I get updates from Arrow, they're up at the top of me fucking newsfeed. I went straight in, there's this first film coming out, I was like, oh yeah, cool, I can't remember what it was, there's the next one, where the fuck is The Hitcher? No sign of The Hitcher. Then I scroll up a book about The Hitcher, I was like, oh shit, fuck off, Arrow.
They must have the rights with that.
Well, they got the rights to do the book, so you'd wonder what's going on there. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know what's going on. There might be rights issued. There could be publication issued. They might even be searching for reels, like better source material to make a better print. You wouldn't.
To be fair, though, I don't know if you've seen that DVD. I have. I can't remember who it's by, but
I have that DVD. I think that's the Warner Brothers. I think.
Actually, nothing wrong with the.
No, it's fine.
With the picture quality. So even if they were to just barely upgrade that.
No, you see, no. Arrow are a better company than that.
Yeah.
They won't just give you an upscale on Blu-ray. That won't happen.
No, what I mean is to get the original negatives and just.
But they could be looking for them.
You know
they could be looking for them. That's the other thing.
Yeah.
See, the Blu you're watching. You see, the DVD. A lot of the DVDs that we have, actually, some of their source material were actually VHS cassette tapes.
Yeah.
Widescreen VHS cassette tapes.
Excuse me.
And that's what they used to get onto DVD.
Yeah.
And the great thing about DVD at the time, if you remember, was, okay, no matter what happens, this source that we're watching will never degrade. You don't rewind or fast forward. That's a lot of stuff people forget about. Were actually a major thing about DVD.
Yeah.
Going from DVD to Blu-ray is it's the picture quality. We want to see the correct colours. We want to see picture quality, appropriate picture quality. We want to see the film grain as it was originally filmed. We want to see the proper aspect ratios that they originally filmed, and we want to see the film that was that the director originally wanted us to see, whether it's a director's cut, a special cut, or getting it out of the wherever it is in storage, going through the reels and finding out if there was any aspect of this film that may have been left on the cutting floor that maybe the director wants added back in again or not. You know, that's what Blu-ray is all about. That's why some releases in Blu-ray, particularly for, like, from Arrow and 88 Films and Indicator and all those guys, a lot of their range. That's why it's so appreciated, is because they do put that effort in, and you never know. Arrow could be looking for the reels of the Hitcher. They could be looking for the original 35mm prints, so they can do that proper remaster where they can get us maybe a 4K version of it where we get all the colour corrected and we get everything in there. You wouldn't know.
They could be working on it right now. They
could very well be. There's a lot going on in the background. Like, they did major work for particularly Hellraiser 2, where they actually found the infamous fucking surgeon scene where Pinhead comes in dressed as a surgeon. It's a big fucking story. There's a big huge thing about Hellraiser 2. But they did a lot of work with the Hellraiser trilogy, and they announced that they found that scene, and it was really exciting actually to get that and watch it. It turned out to be a bit of a scene. Probably could have stayed on the cutting floor.
There's a lot of scenes in those three films that are a bit.
I know. I'd argue with you there. One is great, and 2 is a solid sequel.
2 is good.
3 is hilarious. 3 is a fucking roller coaster from start to finish.
3 goes down the fucking Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street comedy villain route.
Pretty much, yeah.
First one is fucking terrifying.
First one's deadly. When your man comes running over as a fucking half man, half skeleton, kind of globally mess, kind of crawled along the floor towards it.
I had seen the fourth one first, right? You know, the Hellraiser Bloodlines. That's a good fucking film.
I love Bloodlines.
It goes,
story about Bloodlines, actually. Got to tell you.
No, tell me in a minute. But it goes into it. It's a very serious kind of horror film. Whereas then when you watch, I remember watching the first one going, it doesn't suffer, this isn't the suffering. It goes down the Nightmare on Elm Street route, again, Rambo, Rocky, where it's kind of almost a different film from the other ones, you know what I mean? 2 is a good film, 3, again, goes on that comedy horror route that a lot of them do. Even Friday the 13th has that same thing where it's a complete, Halloween has the same thing. Like, basically every film that goes on to form a franchise like that, particularly in the horror genre, the first one is very, very different from the rest of them. You know, so but then Hellraiser 4 I think kind of brings it back to Hellraiser 2 more so.
Hellraiser, a lot of people don't like Hellraiser 4, but the story of Hellraiser 4 is I have a DVD copy of it, and that's not the full version of the film. There's a work print version of that film that explores a hell of a lot more. Like, you remember the 2 twin guards?
Yeah. And
they go investigating part of the building that shouldn't be there, and it turns out it's actually fucking walking into a dimension, Pinhead's dimension, and he fucking strikes their face together.
Yeah.
Well, you see a hell of a lot more of them in it. Like, you know, when that actually happens, you don't really see them for the rest of the film.
Yeah.
You remember the Hell Dogs, or the Hellhounds, whatever they're called? Okay,
it's been a long time since I've seen it.
I think Pinhead throws a dove at one of them or something like that, and it jumps up and eats it. But that's pretty much all you see of them. You see a lot more of them in the work print. There's a lot more flashback stuff in the work print and everything else. And I really, really, really want to get that version of it. But the only version of it that came out was from a company called 84 Entertainment in Germany. And they released these media books. Now, I was lucky enough to grab their Fright Night 2 on Blu-ray, believe it or not.
Which I still haven't seen, by the way.
Which is like hen's teeth now. But they released like fucking, like, I don't know, like 10 copies or something. It feels like 10 copies, but they're extremely limited copies, and they're completely sold out from the 84 Entertainment website. But you go looking to buy one of them on eBay now, and you're looking at like 300, 400 quid. Yeah. For this fucking copy of now, I don't love it that much, but I really would love, again, Arrow or somebody to get their hands on Hellraiser 4 and give us the work print.
They have the trade on
and let's say they have or they had 1, 2 and 3.
No, they do, because I saw they have the trilogy box set on.
Yeah, but they may have the rights to make a certain run of Blu-rays, and once those are sold, that's it, their rights are gone again. So you buy the rights and you say, okay, it's part of your contract, we were going to make and produce X amount. And once they're sold, then it's gone.
Yeah,
so that's that. They that's probably what they have. I might be wrong on that now, but it's generally something like that. So they still probably have the rights to sell it, but they probably have the rights to release any more versions of it.
Yeah, I know what you
mean. So if they want to do a 4K one, I'm sure they'd probably have to go back to whoever owns it and say, look, we want to re-release it as 4K or whatever the fuck. But I'd love them to get number 4, and a lot of people don't like number 4, but I thought number 4 was superb when I first saw it as a kid.
I watched it, and I remember enjoying number 4, and
I love the idea of the princess, or bringing her into as like showing kind of some of the hierarchy of the demons in hell.
Yeah,
where Pinhead is, I think Pinhead is senior to her, but he still has to respect her royal line or something like that in hell. Yeah. It's a cool kind of it kind of opens it up a little bit.
It shows Pinhead's background there as well, doesn't it? It shows your man.
You see Pinhead's background in Hellraiser 2, I think.
Maybe it's Hellraiser 2 it shows it. Yeah.
I'm open to be corrected on that one. Pretty sure it's Hellraiser 2 where you see what's his face that plays him.
Doug Bradley
as a World War One English captain.
Yeah.
And he finds the box and gets pulled in.
I think you're right. You are right. Yeah.
Pretty sure it's number 2. Right, but again, it's a while since I watched them. I actually bought the Arrow hard case special edition, which is fucking glorious. I'll show it to you next time around. It's a beautiful package of Hellraiser 1, 2 and 3 and a big fucking huge book in it and everything. Like it's class. But it opens up like one of the portals opens up. So you open it like you have that kind of diamond shaped door kind of open on the side. It's really, really cool, and it's all hard case. And
so remember the cool puzzle box one they released years ago, the DVDs?
That's Anchor Bay did that one. And I have the Anchor Bay one as well, believe it or not. And that's just, you take the top off and they flop open.
Oh really?
And there's a big huge piece of aero board or aero foam in the middle of it. Like,
I thought it opened like the fucking puzzle box because I'd seen it and I thought, you see, I don't really like some of those DVD cases. Did you ever see the alien head one for the alien fucking...
I got really excited about that, and I was in HMV with him, went up to look at it and I went, it's shit looking. This is like a vacuum formed mould of a poor version of an alien head. This actually looks shy.
Where do we put it?
That would never come up. Like, where I put things, like I don't think about that until I get at home and go, oh shit. If it's something I really want, it's the size of a fucking pool table, I'm gonna fucking buy it and then worry about where to put it later.
But it's like, where do you put it?
Up close, the alien head was really, really poor. Really
I remember seeing pictures of it and thinking, that's gonna be shit. And then sure enough, it was shit.
It was, yeah.
But like,
some of them are great as well.
You see stuff like now, like we were looking at, the Unfla wants me to buy the Infinity Gauntlet. The statue of it, the kind of life-size statue of it. It was like fucking 350 quid.
And now it's only €120 now. Is this the Hasbro toy version?
No. This is the proper fucking collectible one you'll see in the fucking comic book shops and shit. I saw one.
Is this the one that you can put on?
No. It's like it's a life-size version. It's not. You can't use it.
You can't put it on.
You can't put it on. It's like a fucking statue.
The one you can get and put it on is made by Hasbro, and it's done in the same range of the Black Series, the Star Wars Black Series stuff.
No.
It's highly detailed. You can move fingers around and stuff.
No, I got him a cheapo one.
Okay.
That just straps onto his hand. He's happy enough with that. Now he wants me to buy this just as an ornament. I was like 350 quid, but like the amount of effort that goes into it, Whereas
for Christmas, boxes, the Hasbro one for Christmas might be an idea.
Yeah,
because you can actually move the fingers and make the fingers do this.
Nice one.
give it fuck you, like
what was I gonna say? Yeah, so we'll probably wrap this up shortly now.
Yeah, we wrap it up.
Just before we go, actually, after talking about Arrow and my experience with them earlier on, that box set's going to be fucking fantastic.
The American Werewolf one? Oh, it's beautiful. The artwork and all looks
so happy I got it, because I know, I was even saying...
You'll appreciate that. That'll be in your collection, and you'll always know that you will have one of the best representations of that film that you can possibly get in your collection to your hand to watch whenever you want to watch it.
Exactly.
It's not licensed via a digital copy. It's not a fucking downloaded pirate copy with something wrong with it. It's none of that bullshit. It's not a VHS. It's not an old DVD. It's a fucking
DVD that broke.
It's a fucking 4K physical copy that's yours to watch for the rest of your life. Like, you know?
And you see, the thing is, like I was saying, that film holds a very special place in my heart, and that's one of the reasons why obviously I wanted it. And when you told me the special edition was coming in, particularly at that price, if it had been double that price, I would have fucking bought it anyway, to be honest.
Oh, it was so good.
£22 is what I paid for
just let everybody know that's an early board price on that now, in fairness. Yeah.
And I was looking at it, and in fairness, Rebecca had said to me that no matter what happens, I'd get it at that price and I'd get that version, no problem, just once we sort it out, whatever, you know.
Because I wouldn't be surprised after they announced that, people were talking about it all over Facebook.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if their initial release figure is. I wouldn't be surprised if it was close to wrapping up now.
Yeah. Because I was thinking there's probably max maybe 1,500, 2,000 of them. Absolute max. Because
Oh, I need to correct myself from last week.
Oh yeah, go on.
I said 88 Films are bringing out the old Italian crocodile films. It's Killer Crocodile. Killer Crocodile 1, Killer Crocodile 2. It's coming out by 88 Films for our region. I'm looking forward to getting it. And I said to correct myself.
I have to correct myself about the Kite Runner. It is not Kabul, it was Karachi, which is in Pakistan. We said Afghanistan, it's Pakistan. Right. So of all our Afghani Pakistani listeners, I do apologise for mixing your countries up. The cities do sound similar though.
They do.
And we're wrong about pretty much everything in the show anyway.
Pretty much. Ian fucking hasn't been much of a researcher and he's still living. We're calling you out.
You haven't corrected everything we've got wrong.
Yeah.
Kev corrected a couple of things though.
He did, in fairness to him.
Usually picks us up. Your homework for the week is to watch Spotlight.
Usually nitpicks us up.
What are you going to watch this week?
Oh no, I'm going to delve into. I'm going to finish off. Split second. I'm going to watch more of the Man in the High Castle. I'm going to watch. I don't know whether I get around to the Cooler or not, but it's something I want to sit down and watch the misses. Like it's a nice break from sci-fi and horror and shit like that. A little bit of real world drama. I don't think I'll get around to Black Christmas. There was one or two others I wanted to watch. I have lined up to watch. I've been hunting down trying to get Fist of Fury on Blue and The Big Boss on Blue, but I'm not totally sold with that media rare or medium rare, whatever the fuck. I think it might be media rare because it makes more sense. Label that released the Bruce Lee stuff. As I said last week, I just wish fucking 88 Films or one of them.
That's a call to arms right there.
Would get the Bruce Lee, at least Way of the Dragon, Fist of Fury, and The Big Boss, because I don't care about Game of Death. Other than the recut version of the scenes that were found, and Enter the Dragon, they'll never get that because I think that's Fox or Universal or fucking one of them big company that own Enter the Dragon, so they'll never get that. But I'd love to I'd love to get a nice collection of the Bruce Lee stuff in a good remaster.
Still might happen.
It will. Yeah. There's not. Bruce Lee is a massive fucking asset for any kind of.
It'll fall into one of those boutique labels, and it may not be the ones you mentioned, but it may fall into another one. There was another one you mentioned before, so I can't remember the name you'd order stuff from. There wasn't Arrow or 88 Films or anything.
Indicator.
I think it may have been, but look, one of them could pop out of nowhere.
Eureka.
One of them could pop out of nowhere and fucking pick it up.
Yeah, BFI as well. Anyway, wrap it up.
Yeah, well, this week I'm going to try and watch Headshot, because I was kind of enjoying the start of that before I got too tired. Some more Iko Uwais. I'm not allowed to watch The Raid 2 until Downey can come down and watch it.
That's fair.
We're going to watch the two of them back to back.
That's fair.
After our fucking amazing experience.
At the end of The Raid 2, the 2 years will be so testosterone up you're going to batter somebody.
Yeah, I know. I just, there'll be so much pausing to go, whoa!
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, fucking brilliant. Headshot looks like it's going to be good, and I've heard good reports, so Arrow have that as well.
Arrow have Headshot today?
Yeah, because I saw it on their website, because I was just kind of breezing through it to see what I could say. So yeah, hopefully I get to watch them. I'm going to watch more of Inside Number 9. Please watch that.
Yeah,
tell me what you think. Yeah. And there will be episodes you won't like. Cool. There will be one episode I have a funny feeling you're going to fucking despise as much as I did. But just watch through it, and especially that one I'm talking about. Fuck me. And tell me what you think. But I want to hear your honest opinion on it.
Yeah, good stuff. Well, definitely The Sorcerer and Bone Tomahawk are on the Lazy Dads recommend list.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we've spoken of all these other films we speak about at length, and we always kind of refer back to them. You know, Die Hard, RoboCop, and even The Predator. We always kind of refer back to them. These two films are fucking special. Like I was sitting there watching Sorcerer.
We've tried to close this up a couple of times. Sorry, I'm jumping there.
Go on.
Before I forget, I linked on the Facebook page Studio Canal.
Yeah.
Great company for releasing 4K masters. They're doing Angel Heart.
Oh, that's someone Robert De Niro.
Robert De Niro, he plays the main man.
I've never seen that.
The Bell Devil himself.
Never seen it. Who directed that?
I don't know. I'd have to look her up. And what's his face? Mickey Rourke is in it as well as a private detective. It's a brilliant film. It's bleak, dark, gritty, fucking excellent storyline, excellent characters. Robert De Niro is fucking brilliant in it. It's a class film. It really is a good film.
It's one of those films that's been on my list to watch for a long time.
Oh, it's a shameless movie.
And there's,
watch it.
Yeah, and there's another one with James Caan and a Thief.
But sorry, Studio Canal are releasing a 4K remaster of Angel Heart. But yeah, Thief, that's on the Arrow.
It's on the Arrow collection, which I've never seen. Have you seen it?
It's good. I saw it years ago. It's good, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I keep meaning to watch it, and I'm not a huge Michael Mann fan, but
Michael Mann's hit and miss. When he's hit, though, he's great.
Yeah,
that's the thing. When he hit, he's really
Yeah, well, I heard someone criticising Heat the other day about it's not the best heist movie ever. It's not a fucking heist movie.
It's not a heist
There's
movie.
A heist in it. It's no more a heist movie than fucking Reservoir Dogs is.
There's a lot more to that film than a heist. Jeez, there is. Yeah,
I'm gonna try and get to see Once Upon a Time in America Once Upon a Time in Hollywood this week.
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna try.
I need to see what all the uproar over Bruce Lee is.
I thought he looked brilliant in the fucking trailer. I love that little interaction with him and.
You have to see the whole thing. You have to see the whole thing first.
I just thought he looked like Bruce Lee and he sounded like Bruce Lee. But again, if they want to if he's satirising him, I think that's fine.
I know. I mean, it's an alternate universe, so that really goes.
If they're satirising,
but the one that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar called it out as well.
What?
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
He called it out.
He called it out and said it's a poor representation of Bruce Lee as well.
Yeah, but was he a friend of Bruce Lee's?
Yeah, he was a student.
Oh
of
yeah,
Bruce
sure.
Lee's. He fought him at the end of Game of Death. The big footprint on Bruce Lee's famous scene on his chest.
But if it's a fucking parody or a satire, can you really criticise?
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I'm only saying from point of view. I don't know whether it is or not, whether it's supposed to be historically
we won't
accurate.
actually see it.
Yeah, but you will know straight away if it's a fucking satirical look at a real man.
I'm sure it is.
Yeah,
because the two main characters in it are satires of old Hollywood anyway. So it will be.
As someone said,
it's just that Bruce Lee's a real person. The other two aren't.
In what fucking universe would Brad Pitt be Leonardo DiCaprio's fucking stunt double? Think about it. If you had to pick one of them to lead your film,
always
as an actor, Brad Pitt all the way. Although DiCaprio had this great.
DiCaprio's a fantastic actor. He's amazing.
He did great.
Blood Diamond was an amazing film.
I love Blood Diamond actually. Yeah, he had a great year there where he had Shutter Island and Inception. Brilliant. Two brilliant.
It was not mad in Inception, but it's a story for another day. No.
Really? What do you think of Shutter Island?
I never saw Shutter Island.
Did you? I fucking love Shutter Island. Like Scorsese again can be a bit, but fantastic there. Right, wrap it up.
Yep.
Right.
Talk to you all next week. Bye bye.
How do I turn this fucking thing off?